you talk a good game. You talk a good game. You talk a good game. You talk a good game.
Hello, welcome to a special edition of Talk a Good Game where we're talking about the Arsenal game. This is actually take two. We did take one yesterday and it went quite well, but for some reason the sound didn't work, so we're a bit later than everyone else, but hopefully we're a bit better as well. Until you see who we have on. The good news is Gonzo's not here. He's in a tent somewhere and I think he missed the game, so nail up for him. But the two people I have got you'll recognise, but you've never seen them on the show together. First of all, we have who people refer to as Jesus, but I'm not really sure why. I don't see any resemblance. Hello, Charlie. How you doing?
Did the score correctly. It was this guy. That's why they call me Jesus. Thank you very much. Nice to be back.
Well, he said West Ham would win, but I think he said 1-0. But we won't pick up on that small minor detail. Scott, good to have you back as well. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for inviting me back.
No bother. Before we crack on with the Arsenal game, we'll just touch on you, Scott. We've got mine and Charlie's views for the season on the last episode, as we did with Gonzo. Scott, what's your hopes for the season without trying to include that you would like to see us win at the Emirates?
I've always said this year to play a different style of football to what we've been playing, which we're starting to get the players in that can do that. So I'm happy with that. To survive in the Premiership and to gel as a team and build something. And I really think that we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, well, I think we showed over the 90 minutes that we're heading in some sort of right direction. Charlie, I suppose on Saturday we kind of all knew that Reece Oxford was going to be starting at just 16 years old. What did you think of that? Without, obviously, you didn't know he was going to have a 95% completion rate. You didn't know he was going to dominate Ozil. What was your thoughts on that?
I was excited. I think because with the formation that Bilic decided to start with, which was obviously the diamond, we needed someone in that role who can act as a sort of extra defender when Arsenal inevitably have like 15 men in front of our box just waiting for an opportunity. But we also need someone who's equally capable of passing the ball out and starting moves off, and I think he was the best option for that. So I was excited. I was a little bit wary, but I was excited mainly.
Scott, do you share the same view, or were you a bit more nervous than Charlie was, a bit worried that it was going to be too much for him?
I'll be up front with you, yeah, I thought it would be too much. I think about myself at 16, and, but he just won me over. He did quite a difficult role in the middle of the field and made it look very, very simple. So, yeah, a big fan.
Yeah, definitely. I think I go by a theory, if you're good enough, you're old enough. I think people need to remember when he was 16, he played against Arsenal and he scored that winning goal against the Invincibles at the time. And so for students to say it was crazy to play him, I think he was very short-sighted about that, to be honest with you. He clearly knew nothing about him, but rather than just say he doesn't really know who Reece Oxford was, he just said it was crazy to be playing a 16-year-old. We've got 3 bookings in very quick succession, Charlie. Were you worried at all, or were you quite confident that nothing silly was going to happen, bearing in mind that we've had 3 red cards in the Europa League?
I think you'd be a liar if you said the red cards didn't instantly pop back into your mind when, for example, Noble got injured like whenever it was, like 10 seconds in. It wasn't that early, but you get my point. But yeah, I think Bilic showed really good conviction to keep him on, because we all know, having watched Sam Allardyce for such a long time, he would have taken him off minutes after it happened. So it showed really good conviction for the players and of his game plan originally to say, yeah, this is what could have happened and we're going to carry on with it. But yeah, you'd be a liar if you didn't say you didn't remember every single red card that's happened so far when it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think Noble and Ogbonna had to take those bookings. Noble was just unfortunate he slipped, but they were on the break, and we all know what Arsenal's like on the break. I think he had to take that yellow. Same with Ogbonna. He had a wee bit of a slip, and Oxlade-Chamberlain nicked it past him, and for all we know, it could have been one-on-one, so I think he had to take the yellow, so fair play to him for that. And you're right, Allardyce at White Hart Lane last season, 2-0 up. Noble could maybe have got sent off. He was on the booking when he did that challenge, and Spurs players were gunning for him to get sent off. But let's just put faith in him, I suppose. Scott, I'm going to put you on the spot here. 2 or 3 weeks ago, you said Mark Noble should be sold. You said sell Mark Noble. For me, Mark Noble was one of the best players on the pitch on Sunday. I thought he was fantastic as a captain. Do you wish to change your mind?
Listen, I'm big enough. I'm big enough to admit my mistakes, but I saw the team. I saw the team on Twitter, and I did say on Twitter that I wouldn't have played him. He had a good game, didn't he? And I have to say that he made himself busy, a lot busier than what I've seen him. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm wrong, but the verdict's out on him. We'll see what he does. See if he can string a few games together. But for what I saw yesterday, yeah, he closed people down and he worked hard. But I think I said on the day, I think I was saying, is he what we're building? And I still don't think he's in that calibre.
No, that's a fair comment, and at least you half admitted you were wrong there. I think it's massively important who plays alongside him, but yeah. I like to think, or at least pretend, that he had a massive helping hand for the likes of Reece Oxford settling into the squad, having him there. Because one thing he does do is encourage his teammates 24/7 when he's on the pitch. It's great to see. Charlie, first goal. Well, Scott's got a problem. Come on.
No, it's okay. What I was going to say, just on that, the bit that I liked about it was his interview on Match of the Day. And what I like about him, and I always have liked about him, is how much that meant to him. How much it isn't just that he's been bought by he plays for West Ham. You can feel it in him. He is West Ham. And that came across very much in the interview on Match of the Day.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone was delighted for him. There's that wee clip on Twitter going around of the 15 seconds when we just going. But I think we were all like that, weren't we? I was buzzing last night. I honestly felt like we'd just won a cup semi-final or something. I had that kind of vibe about it. Charlie, the first goal, obviously Kouyati's header, fantastic free kick. Awesome runner. 2 centre-backs that were up, Tompkins and Reid, both ran to Payet to celebrate with him, despite Kouyati scoring, which says a lot to me, I think, about the delivery. Do you think it would have went in even if Perichet didn't come for it, or it was? Let's be honest, it wasn't exactly a poor header, was it?
No, but I also don't think Kouyate would have headed it the way he did if Cech hadn't come for it. I think he probably would have put it in a different place or something. I think to blame, a lot of Arsenal fans have blamed it solely on Cech. I think their defence was bad. Kouyate had free space and time to think about where he's going to put it, and as soon as he realised Cech was off the line, all it took was a tap. Yeah, I think if it hadn't have gone in, it would have had to have been a very, very good, quick save from that sort of distance as well.
Yeah, Scott, obviously Zarate got the second. Being honest, how much was he frustrating you before he scored our second goal?
He was. I like him. And he was just very easily taken off the ball. To start with, he was easily pushed around in that game, and he was frustrating. But to give him his due for that goal, everyone said, "Oh, well, their goalkeeper did this, their goalkeeper did that." He got his shot off early, and I think that upset everybody. He looked up, he saw his opportunity, and he hit it. And in the Premiership, that's what you've got to do. You can't have touches. If he'd have took 1 or 2 touches, if he said, he should have done this, he should have done that, he got it off early, and that took everybody by surprise. Yeah,
now this is going to be interesting. Obviously, away from here, I speak to you two. I spoke to Charlie a few times, and this is going to be very interesting viewing. Last night on Hammer's Chat, we did like a player's rating, myself and Steph, and we did every player. I told Charlie about it, and he said, "I hope Zarate got this rating." Charlie, what rating did you give Zarate?
I gave him a 5, and I said that was generous.
Continue, explain. I think you're going to have to explain.
Okay. So I've said this to Gio many times, and he knows I say this. I don't like Zarate. I think he's I just don't think he's good enough in any way. He holds onto the ball for too long. He doesn't pass enough. He doesn't shoot enough. He runs into dead ends almost constantly. It's like he plays. It's like just having dead weight on the pitch. There were times where the ball would be coming forward and Sacco would be the one coming to get it, and Zarate would just sort of be walking into him. He's just not a very good player. I don't think his goal was particularly good. I do agree with Scott. I think he got his shot away early, which is probably why everyone was caught out by it. But I mean, even then, he was sort of a little bit lucky to get the ball. He's just not very good. I really think if we're going to buy another striker, we should just straight up sell him. I don't see why he's here at all.
Yeah, I can't agree with that at all. I think he worked really hard yesterday. I thought he was tracking back a lot. Monreal is not the easiest player to track back. He gets a lot of stick from neutrals and that. If you watch Arsenal, he's very efficient at what he does. He takes players on quite often. He got Tompkins booked very quickly in the first half as well by selling them a dummy. Scott, do you share Charlie's view, or are you a bit more sensible?
No, I do like him. I think there's something there. I don't think he's the finished product, and I think he's got to grow into that. But I think just being in the team and learning, his trade, his job. I think he's gonna come on as a player. I agree. Sometimes he does get frustrated. He always wants to do that extra touch, and he wants to go over the top. But I think that'll come out with his game. I think yesterday, not just him, but the rest of the team did a very, very simple job. They got told what they had to do. He won the ball back and he passed it on. And he did track back, even though, like I say, he's not a big lad, so he is going to get pushed off the ball. But I like him. I don't know what it is about him. I can't analyse it more than that, but I like him, and I think he's going to be one for this season.
Yeah, I think he's got potential. He needs coached, but
yeah.
Over in Serie A and that, you do get a lot more time on the ball than you do in the Premier League. And then a lot of players struggle when they first come here. It doesn't make them bad players, it just means they need to adapt, they need to be given time. And how often do we see players, they do need that period of time?
Mm-hmm. I should say, and it's because the fact that we now have other creative players in our team who are more capable than what he is at literally creating. If he put the ball in the net more often, then I couldn't complain. I literally would not be able to complain. But the fact of the matter is he just doesn't score enough. And it was very telling that last night I saw someone say, oh yeah, Sacco did really well up front by himself. And I was like, he wasn't by himself. He had Zarate, but Zarate was just aimless and wandering about like a headless chicken. Anyway, sorry.
Zarate wasn't an out-and-out striker yesterday, I'm afraid. He was in our half.
He was until the second goal went in.
No, I'm not. He did a lot of tracking back. But you said there's a lot more creative players in our squad now than Zarate, right? Without naming the obvious, name another two that you know in the Premier League is going to be more creative than Zarate in our team, without naming the obvious one.
Right, I'm assuming the obvious one's Payet, right?
Yeah. So name
Okay,
two.
cool. I think both Samuelson and Lanzini offer more to the team than he does.
Where's your proof in that, though? Like, they haven't...
All of pre-season, right? And Lanzini's only played twice, so maybe I should reserve judgment on him for that, right? But Lanzini, what I saw from him was exactly what Zarate gives us, except he also knew when to pass the ball. No. When Zarate doesn't run like this, he runs like this. His head's down, he doesn't know who's where, and he just sort of goes until he can't go any further.
But I don't know, I can't have that, because Samuelson and Lanzini, as much as I'm looking forward to seeing them, there's nothing to say they're going to be a success in the Premier League, and I hope they will be. I've got faith in them, but for you to say that they're going to be more creative than Zarate, I think that's a bit unfair.
There's nothing, to be fair, quickly, there's nothing to say he's going to be a success in the Premier League either. He's been at what, 3 different Premier League clubs now, if you include Birmingham. Let's not include them because he was 19 at the time, so we don't really know how it would have panned out.
Okay there, so that's why I don't want to include.
QPR, maybe, debatably. QPR, he was there, they were crying for someone up front, absolutely crying for it. And just like someone who could come in and create a bit of creativity apart from Charlie Austin. And he was just nowhere to be seen in that team. And it says a lot about him, is all I'm saying.
Wrong place, wrong time at QPR, I think. I think that club was rotten to the core, and you could pick out anyone bar Austin and Barton. Austin and Barton, or maybe Robert Green. I think anyone else in that squad you could pick out and say they played really poor last season. So I think that's a bit harsh. Scott, who are you siding with here? Come on, you've got to pick. Who are you siding with over this?
I'll get splinters in my backside here by sitting on the fence, but yeah, no, there are creative people in our side, and I think now that he's playing around people who can pass and give, like we was on Sunday, I think his game's going to come on. I think sometimes in poor teams, he's tried to save the day. I don't think it'll come to him. He doesn't need to save the day. He can just get about his job, and he can learn his trade up front.
This is going to be fun come May. One of us is right, Charlie, and we'll find out in May. We've gone away from the Arsenal game, so let's go back to the Arsenal game. It's going to be a Zarate show. But it's near the end, really. Charlie, Bilic got his tactics right, but how impressed were you, though? Just how impressed?
It was perfect from start to finish. And it's the more I think about it, the more I realise just how good it was. Everyone from the midfield, the strikers as well, but they had obviously less to do in that game. Everyone in the midfield constantly harrying, constantly pressurising. From the word go as well, it wasn't like we sat back for a while, and it wasn't like we just came there and parked the bus as well, like most people were expecting us to. I think we came there, we played our game, and then we pressurised them when we did. We forced them into mistakes. Everyone played their part, everyone, and I think and especially that second half, after we got that second goal, we changed our formation, and it was absolutely perfect. We gave them they were passing about, waiting for the space, and the space was just not coming. Everyone, and I was legitimately impressed, apart from Zarate, but I was legitimately impressed. I thought it was brilliant.
There's no need for that Zarate comment. Scott, you're a reminder. I know you're a admirer of the way Arsenal play, and I'm going to be honest, we've both tipped them to win the title this year. I'm going to stick with that, to be honest. I think they'll come good, but that must have made you extra impressed by yesterday.
Definitely, I am. I'm not. I would say I am a fan of Arsenal, but I am a fan of the way that they play. I do enjoy watching Arsenal play. That philosophy behind quick play, but yesterday the tactics from us were just bob on. I said on Twitter before the game, we're going to have to work hard. We're going to have to put a shift in today, and we did do. We stopped them playing, and I'm not about parking the bus. We were in the faces. We stopped them doing them little things that they do, and they do it so well. And we frustrated them. You could see that frustration on their faces. It wasn't going their way. And if I was going to aim a criticism at Arsenal, I think sometimes it's what goes on in the Reds. I think they got talked out of that. The more that game went on, their belief was that it was going. So I was more than impressed with, like I said, for me, at the beginning of the season, graft, that's what I want from our team. I want them to be able to graft, and we grafted, and we went toe-to-toe with them, and we beat them.
It was just faultless, really, wasn't it? Fair play to Bilic, though. I was one of the ones I was a bit pissed off on Thursday night with that team we fielded and the way we went out Europa League. I've got over it now. Yesterday helped massively. I still don't necessarily agree with it, but maybe I was wrong as well, and Bilic got it right, so fair play to him for that. But now the difficult question of the day, man of the match. Charlie, who was your man of the match?
As I said, everyone from the midfield and both centre-backs really are in with an incredibly strong shout of getting man of the match. Everyone put in such a huge shift. But I think it has to go to Reece Oxford, just because 16 years of age, and he arguably was one of the more important reasons why we did so well yesterday. So I'd have to go with Reece Oxford. Have to.
Scott, are you siding with Charlie on this one, or have you got a different man of the match?
No, definitely. Everybody played well. Everyone put a shift in. It has to be the Ox. I was just blown away by the simplicity. He was there to break the play up, get the ball, don't do anything fancy with it, lay it off, make sure we keep possession. 16-year-old gets told to do that, and he just goes and does it. So for me, the Ox, it has to be the Ox.
I'm going to go different. It's Ogbonna for me, but when we signed him, I was very iffy about his signing, so I think that might have an impact. But I just thought it was so solid. Every cross, but they rarely put a high cross in, but when they did, he won it. It was just he looks very much like James Collins, the way he blocks stuff and throws his body about, but he can play a bit as well. I was very impressed with the way we kept the ball at the back. There was no hurry. We let the strikers close our defence down and then just slowly rolled it back to the keeper. There was no panic whatsoever. And then there was that moment when Giroud, I swear Giroud was away to score. I thought I could vision him scoring when the ball was quite high, and Ogbonna just took it away from him. I think he even played out the defence as well or something. I thought I was really impressed with him actually. But anyway, guys, that's it for tonight. So thank you very much for joining us, you two. We'll be back actually on Wednesday night, in just a couple of days' time, as we look at the Leicester game and obviously some transfer news maybe. We might have a new signing, but we'll come on to that on Wednesday night. But Charlie, thank you very much for popping on again.
Thank you, and I apologise to all the people I've made angry. You can shout at me at KingdomOfWham on Twitter. Tell me I'm wrong, it's fine, I don't mind. I mean, I'm not, but tell me I'm wrong, it's cool, I don't mind. Thank you.
Well, that was a good plug for your own Twitter. I'll give you that one. Don't remember agreeing with that, but I'll give you that one. Scott, thank you very much for coming on and showing us your mohawk.
Thanks very much. Can I do a plug? Can you give me a plug for Brazil?
I'm going to give you that on Wednesday, don't worry.
Okay. You're very welcome. I had the Mohican done for the match.
Well, keep it like that because it's obviously a lucky haircut, so keep it like that. Charlie's beard is it's neither lucky nor unlucky, so you can do what you want with that, mate. But that's it from us. You can also follow us on Twitter at hammers_chat. But the main thing is pop onto the forum as well. Leicester on Saturday. The match threads, you do not have to be a member, so you can just pop a comment in as a guest, okay? But anyway, thank you very much for joining us again, and see you Wednesday. Cheers, guys. Good night.
Bye.